Hey, what's going on? Alright, so first of all, I want to say apologies for my past few videos. Wow, they've been real choppy. I just found out that the camera that I had bought, so I wouldn't have to use my phone, which is what I'm using right now, because that camera, I don't like it. For some reason, the videos were like pausing. Sorry. And I didn't even realize it was doing it on a lot of the videos until later. So anyway, sorry about that. I do like recording on my phone more, but anyway, I'm gonna just use what I got. So I wanted to give you guys more in-depth tip for making extra money. All right, don't be shy of getting help. By help, I mean benefits, government assistance, things like that. You're not too good for it. Neither am I. It actually helps you. Anyway, so let me actually pull this up real quick and we can read it together. Do you love to read? I love to read. I love to read, but I didn't used to always love to read nonfiction. I liked reading young adult fiction books. That was not smooth, but it did not help me growing up. So I said, you know what? Let me try to find more interesting nonfiction to read. So let's just read this together, because first of all, what we want to do is keep in mind that we have to change our mind about how we think about this world, this society, this government, this corporation that we call America. Even me, I was one of those people who was like, I hate America. America's lame. Oh my gosh. This is the land of the free. No, it's not. This is the home of the brave. No. This is the place where you can make your dreams come true. It is, though. Which is the exciting thing about it. But I didn't get excited until I actually started experiencing it myself. And the only way I did that was just by doing stuff. Alright, so an example would be the healthcare. So it wasn't until I started having babies where I realized basically how to pay for healthcare, or what to do. And you don't pay for it, you just give them your passport. Okay, so every single pregnancy, let me actually think about that, dude. For real and for sure and for serious, every single pregnancy. Even, okay, so let me start from the beginning. This is just gonna be chock full of good stuff. Yeah, first of all, I would recommend just getting a passport. So I got a passport before I even had kids, because we went on a cruise. And the cruise required us to get a passport because although we were going to the states recognized by America, one of them, I think it was the Virgin Islands, the one that's not a territory of the United States, you needed a passport for it. I don't think any of them are. Who knows? Who cares? Whatever. I just know that we needed a passport for one of the islands we were going to. So, and it was Virgin Islands. So got the passport. So I've had a passport since 2014. Now, without me even knowing anything about it, I just knew that I needed it to go on this cruise. After that, I just kind of started using my passport for stuff. Like, I couldn't find, I had my driver's license, but I lost it. So I was just using my passport for everything. So when I got pregnant, the very first time I got pregnant with twins, I had Kaiser Permanente, okay, was my medical provider. Insurance, whatever. And, you know, they check you in, you know, they ask for your ID and stuff. I gave him my passport, okay? And, like, literally after it was all said and done, the twins came out a little bit early. I had to stay in the hospital for like a week. They had to stay in the hospital for like 3 weeks. So, you know, any other person would be like, racking up the bills, you know, hospital stay, how much does that cost? Whatever they think it costs. I didn't even think about it until like literally like a year ago. I didn't even think about it until a year ago, because I don't even know, I was just not in the mindset of medical bills. I just never got any. They never came. So it's kind of like one of those things that you hear people complain about and you just don't relate because you've never experienced it. Like, I did not get anything. So I remember there was one time where I did get a medical bill, and I think it was because of what happened to my face. I had to get stitches, and that'll be a different story for another different time. But right now I'm talking about the bills part, right? So I remember getting one medical bill, and it was for something. It was like $300 or whatever. And I was like, I ain't paying this. And I didn't. It didn't show up on any of my reports or anything. Like, nothing happened. Whatever. I think it might have went to collections, but then I got that taken off of my report. So yeah, it went to collections, and then I had gotten it taken off of my report, and that was it. So I still didn't pay any medical bills, because literally, like, and I think, and after when I had gotten that bill, I showed them my license. I didn't show them my passport. So I noticed the difference right there. I showed them my license, driver's license, and then I got a bill. When I showed my passport, I didn't get a bill. So I was like, all right, you know, had the twins, whatever. I think this happened. I showed my license, got a bill. Had more kids, right? So after that, after the twins, after this, I got remarried, had more kids, right? Had 5 additional kids. Each one of those pregnancies, I did not get a bill at all. I literally, when they say here, and all the, you know, they have all my information, like, they could literally look me up. I'll give them my social security, I'll give them this and that. I give you my passport, you know, I give you, you know, you have everything. I did not get a medical bill at all, not for staying in the hospital, not for any kind of nothing. I didn't have, like, the most that I had was Medi-Cal. I think the most that I had was Medi-Cal for everybody, except for the Kaiser, but Sharp, Medi-Cal, all that good stuff. But still, nothing. So I'm like, all right, what's really going on? Is it Medi-Cal? Is it this? Is it that? I already know for a fact that Medi-Cal doesn't cover much. I mean, it's okay. It's whatever. I don't really like using them. I don't even like going to the hospital. I really don't. I don't like going to the hospital. Like, it's just the most annoying thing in the world. Mainly because it's like I feel like I have to get a lecture, you know, from somebody just because they feel like I'm doing something wrong. Like, example, I didn't go to the hospital for any one of my kids, okay? I went to the hospital regularly for my first pregnancy, and then after that I was like, oh, they don't actually really do anything. Like, they just ask you how you're feeling, you know. I was on a PP, whatever the fuck, you know, whatever they are. If you're not on Medi-Cal, you're on some other shit. And then the doctors treat you better because you're on the actual insurance or whatever the fuck. If you're on Medicare, Medi-Cal, they don't care, or they push you to the back of the line. A nurse told me that, and I was like, makes sense, because that's how I feel like I was being treated a little bit. But, you know, it's not like I really cared, because I was just like, I'm only here just so you guys can take the baby out, and then I'm about to be gone, so I'll never see you guys again, so who cares? But I will say that I feel the separation, the tension, the, you know, that separation. Okay, I understand that. I feel it, all that stuff. Mainly because, excuse me, you know, it was just a difference. Like, when I had the twins, you know, the doctor was all, oh, you know, tell me about it. Oh, no. I was taking my prenatal vitamins. I was doing all that dumb shit. And, you know, they had the sonogram machine, so I was able to see the kids inside, and, you know, every time that I had an appointment, we had that option. She would just ask, oh, let's see the babies. And I'd be like, oh, yeah, let's do it. But, you know, then after that, when I got on Medi-Cal, you know, it's like you have to schedule an appointment you have to schedule an appointment in order to get educated first. So you schedule an appointment for the education, and then you do the education, then you schedule another appointment for the consultation with the doctor. And then you have that consultation, and then you schedule another, and then they refer you, and then you schedule another appointment from the referral for maybe a sonogram, if it's available, because they didn't even have machines. It was just stupid. So I'm like, okay, this is dumb. So unless you're paying all this money, they're just gonna not have any resources. Okay, so what I decided was, you know what, let's go back to nature. Why not? Let's because, you know what, I don't need all these random people in my face acting like I'm stupid, scheduling all these appointments for nothing, when all you're gonna tell me is, oh, you feel fine? Well, that's great. Call me when the baby's almost here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's stupid. So I'm like, okay. So anyway, I don't go to the doctor. I try to look up the most natural remedy for everything, and, you know, it is what it is. That's what I do. So why was I going there? Basically, I don't have medical bills because when I go to the doctor, I give them my passport instead of giving them my driver's license. And that's one of the reasons why I have my passport and I used it a lot. What else was I going to tell you guys? Oh yeah, let's look at this definition. Let's steer toward, that's one side of saving money in case anything happens to you. You got to go to the hospital, or you're about to have a baby, or whatever the hell, and you think you're going to rack up all these medical bills, and you think that you have to pay to have a child. You think you have to pay to have a child when you don't. Let's look this up. All right, except as otherwise provided in this subtitle, gross income means all income from whatever source derived, including but not limited to the following items. This is 26 USC 61. Gross income defined. Okay, compensation for services, including fees, commissions, fringe benefits, and similar items. Gross income derived from business, gains derived from dealings in property, interest, rents, royalties, dividends, annuities, income from life insurance and endowment contracts, pension, income from discharge of indebtedness, distributive of a share of partnership gross income, blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. So you saw the list, right? You want to know what I didn't see on that list? Wages. Wages. Labor wages. So, what's not considered income is your wages. So, if the wages that you make from McDonald's, if the wages that you make from, I don't know, a hotel, if you work at a hotel, if the wages that you make from Target, Walmart, Uber, if you're an Uber driver, delivery, rides, whatever the hell, if your wages are not considered income by its, I'll say, legal definition, then does that mean that you make income at all? So if you don't make income and you make wages, and according to the IRS, wages are considered gifts, okay, then that means that you don't make income, which means what? If anybody asks you how much income you make, let me rephrase that. If any benefits company asks you, how much income do you make or do you get? What are you gonna say? Because I'm gonna say zero. I'm gonna say I don't have income. I don't get income. I don't make income. That's what I'm gonna say. Because according to y'all's legal definition, that doesn't apply to me. I get wages, and wages are a gift. Okay? So I don't make income. I'm gonna put zero. That's just me though. That's why I'm getting the full benefit. That's why I was getting the full benefits when I had a job. A full-time job. Okay? That's just me though. You can do what you want. But I don't make income. Nope. If the benefits office asks me that, I don't make it. Zero. And I don't have a bank account. Benefits office. Okay, so because the money from the wages that I get, right, I don't have access to, because I don't have a bank account. So, you know. So anyway, that's how I am getting, current tense. And this started, this started back in 2024. So this has been going on for 2 years now. I've been getting full benefits, whether I had a job or not, you know what I'm saying? Full-time job at that or not. Full benefits. Literally. For however many people was in my house. And the more kids that I had, the more, of course, it increased, right? So, that's just a little tippy tip for y'alls, if y'all want to. If you want it. Anyway, I guess I gotta go. The sun's going down, so my natural light is leaving me. But I'll come back with some more stuff. I'll come back with some more stuff I can tell y'all. Cause yeah, for sure. You know, don't be scared of them benefits now. Just read the law, read the code, read your state's rules. And what's the rule? The rule is if you have no income, or if even if you have money, do you have access to it? Because if you don't have access to it, then you don't. And how can they verify if you have access to it? If you tell them that you have a bank account. If you tell them. Remember, Jonesfam culture, we practice privacy. So I don't need to tell anybody I have a bank account. That's none of your business, right? Okay. Love ya, bye.